The lovely host of Tony Inside and Out. At this point, we just might as well go straight through from 6 to whenever because we always here, we always together.
I mean, I feel like it's like back in the daytime when we were always together regardless.
Word. She be hitting me up with some shit. I'm like, yo, bitch, I was dead. I was about to text you that. That's crazy.
It's true though. It's amazing how we definitely think a lot alike.
It's a weed. We smoke so many blunts together. It's just
that like, just our brain cells are connected.
Word.
Sometimes I'm thinking it and she says it. So it's great. I'm like, girl, I would have just, it went out your mouth. I was like, thank you.
Yeah, so obviously I've said it a bunch of times before. I started this podcast to, learn more about weed because I love weed so much and also teach people about weed, the good, the bad, the legal side. Some fun things that I've learned about myself from doing a solo show is I try to say everything in one breath. It's like I could talk a mile a minute when I'm at home, when I'm chilling, when I'm on the phone with my friend, and it's no problem. But when I get in front of the mic, it's like I forget how to breathe. And then I'm just talking and then I'm like, yeah, okay, all right. So I didn't eat an edible today. I just smoked. So we're hopefully, because I noticed it and I was like, oh, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy, Wilma. Like, breathe. You have a nose. You don't have to breathe through your mouth. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, I think it's just pacing yourself when you speak. I think it's just that you get excited and you just want to get all that info out and you're just, you get all and you're passionate. We're passionate speakers.
Yeah, I get up here and it's like I'm in a room full of friends, a room full of people that I'm comfortable with. But I'm like, I don't know who's watching or who's going to watch. And I'm like, oh my God, guys, I'm high. I'm not high enough. I'm too high. It's like I'm on a fucking roller coaster.
I don't know what the fuck is going on or what to do. But no, I just got to take it easy because you're doing great.
So I mentioned last week about something that really blew my mind of all the years that I've been smoking, of all the years that I've been in love with cannabis. Cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. I said a little bit about it. I said a little bit about it last week. We didn't really get to commentate on it or go into depth on it. So it literally just it blows my mind. Because as a daily cannabis smoker myself, I'm like, if I have a headache or if I feel nauseous or if I have cramps or any type of ailment going on, I roll a blunt and smoke it and it makes me feel better. Yeah, 100%. It makes me feel better. It might not happen right away, but it definitely makes me feel better. So I just think, with the acceptance and the legalization that's going to become widespread across this country, they're just looking for something to deter us or to make us something to say it's bad.
Yeah, I agree with you though too, because honestly, before weed is becoming legal and starting all of this, think about it. There was never any mention of anything related to weed. If anything, the most else they would say was that it kills a couple of brain cells. But I kind of don't agree with that neither. Because honestly, there were times where, when I was in college, working tired, I would smoke a blunt and not study. I mean, I was a parent and I was working. I would smoke a blunt and go take my test because I was ready to fail. And for some magical reason, my little magical weed cells would be like, I know that answer. And I would pass.
Well, that's why, like I've said before, too, it's good to know what you're smoking. Because if you would have smoked the indica and went in there, you would have been like, oh, fuck this test, fuck this college, fuck all this. So you definitely went in there and smoked the sativa because you were able to concentrate.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's stuff that you obviously thought that you didn't know.
Right, yeah. I was just frightened because I wasn't prepared. But who knew I was? The weed let me know. Nah, bitch, we got this.
I'm just really surprised that somebody will go to the emergency room with abdominal cramping, nausea, and vomiting, and they're gonna say, "Oh, it's because you smoke too much."
But when you had mentioned this, I love TikTok. I went on TikTok, and there's actually quite a few videos of this illness that doctors claim that people are having from long-term use of weed smoking.
Shout out to TikTok, it's the new WebMD.
Word, because then she went in, this one particular girl, like I felt bad. She obviously was really dealing, she couldn't even like really eat anything. Like she was going through something really bad, and she had gotten the microscope down her throat.
Oh, the endoscopy.
She had gotten all kinds of shit done and at no leave, and then they tell her this, you know, and so she stopped smoking weed because they told her she was allergic to the weed. And,
allergic to the weed.
Yeah, and she got more sick. So then she went to another hospital in another county, and that doctor was like, you're going through fucking withdrawal. You've been smoking for how many years, and now you just stopped cold turkey. Whatever you were going through was the weed was probably helping you cope with it, and now it's intensified. So yeah, you need to.
Yeah, because I've heard of people that have like Crohn's disease and IBS and all type of things like that they use medicinal marijuana.
My grandmother, may God rest her soul, she had lung cancer. She didn't do chemo. She didn't do anything. And my brother would make her weed tea. And that's how we would get her to eat, because she stopped eating after a while.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that opened up her appetite.
For cancer patients, for numerous different things. Like Marinol is supposed to help with nausea and also help people
with
get their appetite back.
Let me tell you, it definitely helps with pain, 100%.
So I just feel like if I'm going to the hospital and complaining of these symptoms, they should be giving me weed, not telling me to not smoke it. Because I guess it makes sense. According to Google, we're quoting TikTok and Google, so we don't really know. Allegedly, There's been 2 related deaths. But I just feel like,
Yeah, kind of bullshit. How is it that now, all of a sudden, granted, they do spray it with stuff. It could have been some chemical that was in it to make it a higher grade, to taste better, to smell better, whatever the flower. Who knows?
Yeah, like back in the days, I used to hear about people diluted lemon pledge and vanilla air freshener
and putting acetone and shit.
All type of shit.
You never know. So to me, it's more of like, I don't think it's the weed itself, because honestly, weed.
But yeah, what did you smoke the weed in? What did you mix with the weed? You know what I'm saying? I just can't wrap my mind around that being a legitimate thing. Like I said, maybe that is the withdrawals of weed, but as a avid smoker myself, the times that I have stopped for whether it be legal reasons or personal reasons, when I did stop, I've never experienced anything like that. Like I would have them little moments where I'm like, damn, I need to fucking smoke, but I've never experienced vomiting, abdominal cramping, nausea from from not smoking. Like there's some times where I wake up and I got a million fucking things to do in the day. So I'm out or doing whatever. And I'm like, oh shit, I haven't eaten. I haven't drank water. And I get like a headache and I get like, but I smoke a blunt and I'm good. So I don't understand. Like, I feel like this is just them trying to bring down the weed or get us to be fearful of it in some way, because it's like, this is insane. It's like, there's no scientific reason, there's no rhyme or fucking reason as to why some smokers get it and some smokers don't. Like, I've definitely coughed my lungs up from like a fucking big ass bong hit or dab to the point where I've thrown up like,
hell yeah,
actual throw up. But that's coughing, so that makes, you know what I'm saying? Like,
your stomach is pumping, of course, yeah.
I just can't.
I just think it's all bullshit too. I just feel like it's just something to throw something negative into weed, only because for the last how many centuries weed has been positive. There was nothing ever negative about weed. Name me one person, unless you and not even then, that's bullshit. Name me one person though that like has gotten into some shit smoking weed. Like, oh, I was drinking and driving, I smoked a blunt and I got into an accident. Like,
but you ain't gonna go to, you're not gonna get into a bar fight when you're high.
or you're not gonna go murder your whole family
when you're high
while you're high. You know what I mean? Like, I could see like somebody on meth or something crazy, or on crack or on heroin. You lost your shit, you killed your whole family.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, even to say like this would be a withdrawal from marijuana or from THC, then it's like those are similar to withdrawals from
heroin or anything else, right?
So it's like to say that, and it's like, I love to smoke, but I'll be the first one to say, like, I could stop.
Yeah, me too.
If I have to stop smoking today, I will stop smoking today. Like, I'm gonna miss it.
Right, I'll be sad.
I'm gonna miss you.
Right, I'll be sad too.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be sniffing everybody's weed as I'm walking down the street just because I love the smell of it. But I don't feel like I've ever been at a point where to say that I'm addicted to marijuana.
Right. I feel the same way. Like, I don't feel like I'm addicted to anything. I think like I have self-control of myself. There are people who don't have that self-control, who need it. I feel like, I smoke to make sure I don't wind up on a Snap commercial or, episode, better said. I feel like it calms me and it levels me out and it makes me feel okay where I don't want to fucking snap your head off if I'm mad at you. Or if I'm, if I'm happy, sad, it makes me happy or sadder. Whatever which way I like it.
It's just like, I feel like in a sense it makes me more productive unless I eat a shit ton of edibles. But that's the goal that I'm achieving. If I do that intentionally, I'm achieving that. Leave me alone. Yeah. I'm drooling out my mouth. One eye is open, but I'm still watching the movie. And that's the high I was going for. But
I feel like that's when I smoke the bomb. When I want to just get that whole body high and just like relax, smoke the bomb.
I wake up in the morning and I crush an eighth right off the bat. I crush an eighth and I roll 3-4 blunts, and that's how I start my day. Jesus. And it's like, if I don't do that, it's not to say that I can't be productive, but if I don't do that, I feel like I lollygag and I procrastinate even more.
Right. I understand exactly what you're saying though, because it definitely, once you smoke like if you have a routine, once you smoke that first blunt, it's like, all right, I'm gonna jump in the shower, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Second blunt, I'm doing my hair, I'm doing whatever, getting myself together. So you kind of pace yourself out with your L's. So I kind of.
The first blunt is with my tea. Or my water. Right. I've recently learned that I don't do caffeine very well anymore. I can't drink coffee.
Oh, I have to drink coffee.
I can't drink coffee, and it was thanks to that fucking. I thought it was just the coffee at first, but it's caffeine. It's thanks to that Dunkin' Donuts chiller that day that had me feeling like I fucking sniffed a line of meth. Oh, yeah, it doesn't affect my body the way, I used to be able to drink fucking 6 Red Bulls like nothing when I was working overnight, when I was working 3 jobs, whatever, and I depended on that. But I guess I went so long without it that now it's just like my body refuses it. And like, I can't, like I used to be able to sit there and eat like a fucking whole giant fucking Costco-sized bag of M&Ms. Now I take a handful, I'm like, ugh, I can't. Like my body just rejects the sugar.
Yeah, I see that, not the caffeine. If I don't drink coffee, you mean a lot.
Let me just tell my body real quick, if you start rejecting weed, we're gonna have a problem.
Right.
So
I'm the same.
No hypermesis syndrome, please.
I don't know how to say that shit in English, but in Spanish they say tempalaga. That's like when you eat too much sugar, and like your stomach starts to like, you feel like you're just like, oh my god, like you're so full, but you're not. It's just a sugar. It's like a sugar fucking flush of hell.
Right.
I'm not a big sweet person because of that. Like, well, you see, I'll take 2 bites of an edible and I'm like, oh, I gotta chill, I gotta wait.
But you see, that's just the weed right there, because I totally went off topic talking about that I can't sugar anymore.
I mean, the way.
Because I'm like, all right, morning tea, morning blunt, shower, get ready, do whatever. Most of the time, I don't leave my crib till the afternoon anyway. So it's like as soon as I get out the shower, clean pajamas, apron, get to baking.
Well, yeah, you see, that's what you have your routine of what you do. You get your butter ready the night before. In the morning you wake up, you already know what you're going to do. So it's like if it falls out of your routine, yeah, it fucks up your day because it's not something you're used to
the other day I realized that I only had condensed milk and not evaporated milk. And I was like, motherfucker. And then I was just like, why are you getting so angry at this? So I lit a blunt. And I was like, you know what? Put real clothes on and go to the corner store. And I'm like, this is really not that big of a deal because the store is like around the corner from me. But it's just like sometimes, and I don't know if maybe it's too much weed. I think it's the lack of weed that the anxiety kicks in. It's like, I don't got fucking time for this. Oh, yeah. But I was here first, so why are you ringing up their sandwiches? You do not need a scratch off, bitch. Like, you're not gonna win.
That's the worst.
And I'm just standing there, and I'm just like, I just need 2 cans of carnation. And then they're like all the way on the top. I guess that's an item that people steal in the store.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
So they behind
the counter. Why are they behind the counter? I don't know, but they are.
Yo,
I don't get that.
I be fucking baffled. I be fucking flabbergasted by the shit that they keep behind the counter and the shit that they don't. Like, if anybody has ever gone to the Dollar Tree on 3rd Ave and like 118.
Oh shit.
The shit that they keep behind the counter makes no fucking sense. Like,
what?
First of all,
fucking ever.
Everything in the store is a motherfucking dollar.
Right.
So
what are we stealing? That's not $1.
But it'll be the weirdest shit. Like
they have
mini cans of shaving cream and chapsticks. And I'm like, oh, these are the most stolen products. Like we already know Harlem's gonna steal these. Like,
right.
I just look at it. And the last time I was in there, actually, I got lost and I was looking at all the stuff behind the guy. And I'm like, he's like, you need something? And I was like, no, I'm just looking. Like, why do you have so much stuff back there? And he didn't even know how to answer me. And I was just like, yeah. So you mean to tell me that somebody's gonna steal the mini pack of that, but not the full size pack?
Thank you. That's my point. That's my point.
Because I got the travel size behind the counter, but the full size ones
it's in the aisle.
It's in the aisle.
Thank you.
Because I'm just saying, if I was to go steal some, I'm gonna go. You know what I mean?
I'm not going for the travel size.
I'm not going for the little one.
No,
I don't need more than that. I got 2 legs. I don't need. You know what I mean? Like
we got those.
It's just should just be blowing my. And then like I had this really weird moment when I was walking my dog, and like y'all don't judge me for this, but I'll be stuck. I just be stuck. I know I'll be high. So I'm like, I'm waiting for him to do his business. Like he already knows. Like it's the middle of the night. This tree, that tree, are the one in the front, bro. Like, we're not going nowhere else.
Right.
So he already knows the deal. He's circling around doing his business, and I'm sitting there smoking a cigarette. I'm like, I'm really watching my dog take a shit. Like, am I really fucking watching this? But I'm still watching him as I'm thinking this. And I'm just like, somebody's going to walk by and be like, look at this fucking weirdo watching her dog do his business. Yeah. So then a guy walks past, and I see him looking at my dog. And my dog is still pooping at this point. So I'm like, oh, nah, this fucking weirdo. Like, at least it's my dog. At least I'm watching my dog do his business because I'm waiting to make sure he's done so I can walk away. Who the fuck are you? We don't even know you. Why are you watching him poop? And I'm like he wasn't looking at me. He was dead ass watching my dog. And like I get it, like he's he's really cute and he's like a little fancy. You don't see many of him in the Bronx.
See many of him. I love
he's a Shiba Inu, by the way.
He's so cute.
He's a Shiba Inu, for anybody wondering
what breed he is. And he's
like a little fox. And he's really not. He's not. He's not friendly to people outside.
Okay, I've never seen that side of him. He loves me.
But it was just in that high moment, I was just like, nah, I'm not the weirdo. I can watch my dog shit because I gotta know what he's done so I can pick it up and move on. But I should have asked him, oh, you got a bag in your pocket for me? You the neighborhood pooper scooper? Like,
hey, what's up? What's going on? Oh my God, you remember that video, 2 girls in a cup?
Anywho. So that's when
internet was like,
we're not even, I'm gonna
remember that, right?
A little bit in my mouth. You're giving me hypermesis syndrome right now because I feel nauseous.
That was a great video.
Anyway, on a much lighter note, I've been really nostalgic lately, and I created a new edible recipe. Have you ever heard of dirt pudding? And tell me what
I know what dirt pudding is. It's chocolate cake, and then it has more like a Cool Whip kind of frosting type thing, and then like cookie crumbles and stuff on the top. So it's very similar because I've asked quite a few since I decided to make this. By the way, check us out at the Queen's Gambit this Saturday. Hello.
Come get you some infused dirt pudding. So I don't know if I'm even using the right word. My rendition just sounds right.
Right.
My rendition of this recipe is the bottom layer is an infused mudslide cake. Then it's going to be a layer of infused chocolate pudding. Then a layer of infused Oreo crumbs with infused gummy worms on the top.
You're gonna do, oh, nice. So, no, do the whip though? No infused whip.
It's just a packaging problem. Because I thought about it. It's just a packaging issue and a transport issue and whatever else.
We're gonna have to get you one of those cans.
I could bring a can of whipped cream. I'm not even, Anyway, dirt pudding. Infused dirt pudding. Like I said, I've been really nostalgic lately for whatever reason. You know, I just keep blaming everything on the fact that I'm turning 30 this year, but whatever.
You have an epiphany at 30. I try to tell you girls this, and y'all just fucking.
I mean, I feel like I had one at 23,
No,
27,
you really
so I'm like, is this
didn't.
gonna happen
No,
every
no.
3-4 years?
No, it's really like those that you had, those are more of like finding yourself, making realizations, and understanding.
Because I totally had like a quarter life crisis.
Now at 30,
23.
you have a fucking epiphany of all the stupid shit you did when you were fucking 20 and 19 and 18 and 17, how dumb you really fucking were, and that you didn't know shit. And that all the shit you thought you knew, you so wish you can go back and tell that stupid you, listen, stupid. Listen,
Hey, bitch, save your money.
Not only save your money,
bitch. Don't buy
in a
that
couple
phone.
of
Get a new
years,
one.
you're gonna regret this. Don't know. Just shut up.
I mean, I honestly feel like I don't have many regrets in life.
Yeah, thank you.
That's just the weed. I just be too hard. I'm like, whatever. Over and done with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't cry over spilled milk.
Nah, I think everything is a lesson. That's how I take life. Nothing is a regret. Everything
no, absolutely,
was a
definitely. I totally apply situations and instances, even my own reaction to things. You know what I'm saying? I definitely second think and triple think and like, nah, you really don't need to say that. Or, oh, you mad? That's crazy because, hey, I'm in a great mood. You want to get high?
Right.
So.
Yeah, because she always want to get high.
It's.
All the time.
You know, it's one of my best qualities.
I mean, you know, it's like, it's crazy, but when I tell anyone that I'm going to be with you, they already know not to make any plans with me for the rest of the evening because they're like, oh, you going out with Wilma? We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Call us in the morning. Let us know you're safe.
You know, it was pretty cool. My niece had shouted out my edibles on her Snapchat account, and like she tagged me or whatever. And I have a fan in Colorado.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and I didn't even know. And he was like, "No way, that's your aunt. Wilma's your aunt." And I was like, "Hey." And then he actually ended up adding me on Snapchat, and he was like something about that he's gonna be moving to New York. And I was like, "Oh shit, good luck. I'm trying to move to Colorado."
Right.
You want to trade?
Right. Want to switch
prices? You want to trade? Because I see your QP prices. That's crazy. You ship? But I'm not going to shout out his name, but shout out to my Colorado fan. Like, share, subscribe. YouTube, live.
Hello. I mean, listen, I feel Colorado is the only bad shit about for us going to Colorado is getting used to the air because it's the altitude is so much higher than us. So for us, it's adapting to that. Like I know for a fact, it's like you feel like you're having an asthma attack. Yeah, you feel like you're having an asthma attack the first couple of days. So it's like it's adjusting to the air.
Yeah, I remember I went to New Mexico and we took like a tram ride up the side of a mountain. And we got up there and I was mad. I was young. I was just hyped to be up there. I started running around. I was like, and they were like, just sit down. You're at a high altitude. Everything's good. Yo, when I went out there, my uncle's wife was calling all her friends to be like, can you just say coffee? Can you say we're going to go take a walk? And I'm like,
I'm not.
No, you got the accent, not me. Like, what do you?
I think it's everywhere. I feel like when people hear you're from New York, they're just like, oh my God, you're a New Yorker? I love the way you guys talk. It's like, bro, honestly, we find you funny, even though you talk weird. We don't. But I get it.
Even the way you say weird.
Yeah.
Like you go anywhere else, I'm like, you're weird. Like it's just it's a pronunciation thing. But I feel like certain parts of like even Jersey.
Yeah, every borough has a different slang, a different accent. I feel like a lot of places fail to realize that like a Brooklyn nigga is not the same from a Bronx one. Like their dialect is totally different. Even down to how they dress. Because I mean, you know, Bronx motherfuckers will be trip setting. Brooklyn niggas, nah, they gotta be from head to toe, down to the socks, underwears, and all that.
I just feel like I don't pay attention to anybody enough to even know.
I
just feel like, you know, for somebody that lived in Brooklyn for so many years and then now I live in the Bronx, I'm like, you know, I used to make my jokes like, oh, I can't breathe, I'm going over the bridge in the Bronx, get me back to Brooklyn or whatever, but it's all the same shit.
Yeah.
It's all the same shit.
No, I mean styles and how we speak, words that we use. Every borough has different words and styles.
It's shit that you don't even realize. Like the dude in the corner store by my house told me that he could tell that I'm not from the Bronx because I said, let me get the peanut M&Ms. And I'm like, yo, but it literally says peanut M&Ms. He's like, nah, everybody in the Bronx says M&M, peanut. And I'm like, well, is everybody in the Bronx dyslexic? Because it clearly says peanut M&Ms. Next time I'm gonna be like, yo, let me get the yellow pack of M&Ms.
Which a lot of people do say.
But I was just like, you know, I just felt like don't say like, oh, you know that somebody's from somewhere because of the way they speak. Like just because I said it what I thought was the correct. You know what I'm saying? Like how is that going to differentiate where I'm from? Because I said peanut fucking M&M. Like there's peanut, there's pretzel, there's almond, there's crispy, there's plain. You know what I'm saying?
Caramel.
Like, I guess, but you know, if I was gonna ask for like a Hershey's, it would be like the regular Hershey's, or I would like the Hershey's almond. But I feel like it all depends on how it's put on the package,
how it's worded for you. But not everyone says it that way.
But like, cause like this says Casamigos tequila, I wouldn't be like, let me get the tequila Casamigos. Like, no.
I would just say, give me the Casamigos.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Like tequila,
obviously, but I was just, you know, using an example.
Like Henny, you can't be like, oh, excuse me, can I have?
I hardly ever call it Hennessy.
What do you call it?
Henny.
Right, Henny. I don't
so
call
I'm saying,
it
like, I don't, even in the liquor store, like, let me get the 46 Henny.
Yeah, they know the deal.
Let me get the Hennessy.
Can I have the biggest Hennessy you have, please?
I had an instance when I was walking down 125th. This was actually during this last summer. I got off the 6th train. For whatever reason, I decided to take that train instead of the train to the west side to walk to Whole Foods. And I got off, and there's always people selling shit there, and always selling books. And I love books, so I'm looking at them. And I'm just looking at his books, and I'm actually about to ask him like how much it is for one of them. And he says some shit about something. Oh, Karen. And I looked at him, and I was like,
he thought you were a Karen?
I looked at him, and then I looked behind me, and then I looked the other way, and I didn't see any, you know, alleged Karen. So I was like, oh,
am I me? Karen?
Oh, that's crazy. So I still was like, how much for the book, right? When I just heard him tell somebody else that the book was $5. And he was like, oh, for you, 15. And I was like, you ain't about to carry me, motherfucker.
Right.
I live here too. Fuck out of here. You ain't about to carry me. But he was a crackhead.
I can't. So you ain't gonna carry me, motherfucker.
You're about to carry me, bitch.
Fuck out of me. 125th is interesting. Like, it's like you walk from, let's say you go on from you start on the west side. It's like, oh, it's moving around, like, let's say, like 42nd Street. It's like hustle and bustle all over the place.
And for the most part, people are like
respectful and cool. Yeah, 100%.
I've never gotten into no shit on the west side of 125th.
Me neither. But then you walk over and you get to like Park, Madison, 3rd, 2nd, Lexington, 1st, and it's over, Hova.
You
now
know
you get into
like
arguments every other fucking block, and you like, bitch, what you looking at?
As soon as you cross fucking
and then
Powell, as soon as you cross that, just stay above Lenox, yo.
Word, and then it becomes, like crackhead
anyway.
Well, no, what do they smoke there? They smoke that K2. Yo, that shit is crazy.
Yo, I went into a store it was on Lexington, across the street from where fucking Pathmark and Rainbow used to be at. And I went into the store and I bought a pack of cigarettes. He's like, oh, 3 for $25. I was like, I don't need bud. He's like, not cigarettes. Oh, 3 for $25. I was like, oh shit. That's crazy. Only in Harlem. Only on Lexington.
Only in Harlem. I mean, I feel like it's just Harlem is especially 125th and Lexington. It's a whole other world.
That should be its own borough.
It is. It's like a whole other world. You get off the train there and you just look around like, what the fuck?
They have security in McDonald's.
Bitch, they have security. They have security in Dwayne Reed. They have security in every store there. I think even in the dollar store there's security. Like the pizzeria, the dollar pizzeria on the corner. I think there's security there too.
You know, even if I get off the train there, I'm either walking down Lex or walking up Wilson. I try not to stay there. Because there's just no reason for me to stay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not taking the Metro North. I'm not going to IHOP and Grand Central.
You remember when Pathmark was there?
You know, I was never around there when it was actually, I started being around there when it had closed down. and it was fucking awful. It was all. It's
it was ridiculous. I've been in the Vivo for a long time.
I've heard stories about
but
how.
I used to go food shopping there. Right? I stopped the first 2 times I went. I take my girls were little. I take my girls with me, and then I learned my lesson.
Oh, better take your ass back to C-Town.
Right. We don't come here with the kids because it would be like a raffle when you get outside. Like they're like dead ass like, no, it was me first online, and then they all talk like that, me first online. I'm a taker. Mama, where you going? And you're like, no, sir, but are you even a cab driver? Like, what the fuck kind of car are you trying to come in? And he's like, you gotta sit in the front with me. I'm like, no, sir, I actually
I'm not that far. I'll walk.
Right, but I'm going there to do grocery shopping, so of course I have no choice. But I'm trying to stop a yellow cab, bro. You think they would let you stop a yellow? You have no choice. They would bully you into like using them. So I got to a point where I was just like, you know what? I'm not getting into one of these cabs anymore because last time I was uncomfortable and I'm not doing this. So I come outside with my car and I dead had to like come out strong, like back the fuck up off me.
No,
and I felt horrible.
This is my cab.
Back up, this is my cab. I should have came out nasty. No, I stopped the yellow cab and I got in the yellow cab. But it was ridiculous how they would stand in a line and then get into fights with each other. And then they're doped out, not hitting the floor. I'm like, really, bro?
This is part of the reason why I hate Target and 117, 116 over there. That's why I hate Target.
Why?
If you gotta come out of there and get a cab, they lined up just like that. And then there's like a guy in like a little fucking fake ass booth
in his
thing.
little booth. It's more controlled though. At least they're like yellow cabs and like bases. But you're absolutely right. What I don't like about it is their prices are higher. So let's say you go outside and you want to catch a yellow cab, they already know not to stop for you because there's cab service inside of Target.
They got an understanding. The cabs don't even go down Pleasant no more.
No, they don't. So it's like fuck your life. Now I gotta walk all the way to Second or First to catch a cab with all this shit.
Speaking of all these cabs,
because Uber's bugging right now. Let's just make that clear.
No shout out to Uber.
Nah, they fucking
I just feel like, maybe a little bit more extensive research of your drivers and how they drive and pay attention to these ratings. I took a cab. It was on Mother's Day. We went to the Botanical Garden. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But it was impossible to even get an Uber. It was raining, and we had to go outside because the line to get in was like an hour just to get into the gate, to get to the parking. So we're like, let's go to the main road. We got rained out. We don't have umbrellas. Waiting 14 minutes for a cab. The cab tells me from the Botanical Gardens to my house is $38. No problem. I'm gonna take that. It's raining. It's Sunday. It's Mother's Day. There's traffic. I understand rates are higher at certain things. Right. We wanted to get the fuck home. We were not trying to find a train or a bus and none of that at this point. So we get in the cab, whatever, because I have my Cash App card linked to it. So I knew I had enough on the Cash App card to pay for that cab and then some. Then it's telling me that they're trying to charge me like $78 for a $38 cab, which there was a surge increase on the way back. But I told your cabbie where to go. I told him, don't get on the highway. Just follow this way. We'll go the local way. Right? He didn't want to go the local way. And then I just feel like if I'm in the cab, you should give me the option to accept this surge fee rather than doing that. Because Uber, you just played yourself because there's not $78 on my Cash App card to this day because I won't add the money to it. I have no problem paying you your $38 Uber. I use you very often. You guys give me discounts and all this shit all the time because I spend a lot of money on Uber. I'm not even going to tell you how I found out how much. I'm not even going to tell you because anyway, I have no problem, Uber, paying you your 38 and change. You better take that 40, that's 40 more fucking dollars. This shit went up to $78. Like, what if that was all the money that somebody had? You know what I'm saying? You're giving me a fee in the beginning. I'm agreeing to this. At least alert me. Give me the option to hop out the fucking cab.
Right. So you remember last week what happened with me and my Uber driver?
Yeah, they charged her $34 to go from Fifth Ave and like 115 to the 3rd Avenue Bridge.
Right.
And she had to get off because she was in the cab for over an hour.
So over an hour, literally over an hour. But check this shit out. So after that, I get into an Uber, and I feel bad because I jumped in and I was like, excuse me, sir, we are not taking the route that whatever your little GPS is telling you.
Mhm.
No, we're going this way. And he's like, oh, chill. Like, I got you. He's like, oh, you had a bad experience. So I explained to him what happened to me last week. So then he tells me, he was like, oh, you know why he did that? So at a certain peak, when it's their high peak time, Uber pays them extra, and obviously they charge us
instead of
for
a
them
2.5
being on
surge.
traffic and going, having to take a different route and all this shit. And I'm looking at him like, what?
Like, if
First
I
of
wanted
all,
to pay by the minute, I would have took a yellow cab.
Thank you. Not only that, it would have been cheaper. Today, perfect example. I took the subway to your house. Why? Bro, I go on Uber. A trip to your house on a normal basis, not rush hour, is $15, $16 the most. That shit was $36. I was like, you're fucking bugging, Uber. If you think that
I'm going 2 miles.
To literally go 2 fucking miles. I'm not paying you no, I'm not. I'll take the fucking, and the train gets me there faster. Legitimately, it gets me there. And it wasn't congested. I took the train. And I was so pissed because I was like, you know what? Uber's really taking advantage that a lot of people are using cab service right now.
They be bugging though, because I tried to take a cab. It was raining this day, so I remember the day of the week, but it was like around 5 o'clock. I tried to take a cab.
They go higher.
I tried to take a cab like 9 blocks away just because I didn't want to walk in the rain. Yeah, that shit told me $29.
Yeah.
So when I walked over there and I got to my destination and checked the cab back, it was only $8. So I'm like, how the fuck? Like, who's in charge of the Uber algorithm?
But I said the same shit going to the mall. You mentioned Target. The other day, I dead ass wanted, if there was a way for me to communicate with Uber right there and then, Uber probably would have blocked me and I would have never been able to use Uber again.
Oh, I've sent them numerous emails already. Like, I'm not paying this. Fuck you.
Oh, I dispute shit. No, I didn't even.
You could take
I didn't even take the ride.
$38.
I didn't even take the ride. But they dead ass wanted $26.
I tried to do that, but I had already told them. I was like, you told me 38, and now it says 78, and I'm not paying that, so I couldn't even say that I didn't take the ride. Because before that, when we're waiting for our cab, we think that we're getting into like a regular cab, and he's like, oh, you're going to Manhattan. And I was like, no, I know the address I gave you. He's like, oh no, I'm Uber. I was like, oh fuck. I guess we could have went to Manhattan and moved back closer home.
Wow. Okay, I would have been like, thanks.
We're in Manhattan.
Does
this come with an apartment too? How expensive is it?
Right. What's going on? Like, I feel like sometimes Uber they have no fucking consideration. Like, I'm just like, bro, how is it that I'm in the same vicinity? I'm not even leaving my neighborhood. And you're trying to charge me $17, $18, $20 to go where, motherfucker? Where? What are you doing?
I've seen people like on TikTok post like tricks like, oh, schedule the cab for 5 minutes or 10 minutes ahead of time. Sometimes that makes it go up, so that doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Or like you said, changing the address. Like if I put my address or I'll put the address like around the corner sometimes, but then it's like $2, $3, and I'm like, I gotta fucking walk around the corner.
Well, for me, my buildings, I dead ass change the address, and sometimes it's a little significant where I'm like, Diablos. Like, I'll put my building, and let's say I'll give you an estimate. It'll be 36, whatever. And then I'll put my other building that's literally steps away from me, and it'll be $25.
Wow.
So it's a big, for me, it's crazy how it is a big ass fucking difference.
This shit just really blew my mind.
And my buildings are literally right in front of each other, which is crazy.
It's the same spot. Where they would pick you up is the same spot. It just blew my mind that like a week prior to this cab ride, I had taken a cab from East New York to the Bronx and only paid $50.
Yeah. I mean, listen, from New York, New Jersey, from New Jersey, from the airport to where I live, it's a $50, $60 ride. Go do that shit on Uber.
And I paid $90 to go to LaGuardia.
Get the flower out of here. On Uber?
Uber's just like, damn, bitch, we tracking your cash app. You got the money.
Right, bitch, because I would have been like, excuse me, Uber, I'm gonna go take a yellow cab. It's gonna charge me $50 fucking.
Did you see that Red Man's mom found like a 20-year-old bag of weed in his old room?
Bro, I would love to know what kind of weed that is.
Apparently, I heard a little bit. I don't know if he was on Smoke Champs or something. I heard a little bit of a podcast. Don't quote me which one it was because I was high as fuck. He was saying that like back in the 90s, like the spot that they got it at was like a dispensary, like in the 90s, like wherever they was at. I believe he said it was in Harlem somewhere, and it was like the triangle bag. It was like back in that day, if you had the triangle bag, like you was that dude, like
right,
that's how you knew you was making it. And he was like, I was like, damn, a 20-year. That shit just makes me. And he said that he's gonna sell it, right? They're gonna sell it on eBay. I don't know if that's how true that is, but that's pretty cool. But I wouldn't want to pay. I can imagine what they would be charging.
Not only that, imagine how when that shit's gonna turn into dust the minute you try to.
I'm sure it was good bud when he lost it there. And he said some shit, I guess because it was sealed in the bag or whatever, that still looked good, but I'm just like, I don't know, mold. Yeah, that's a long time. I don't know what that weed been through. That weed saw a lot. Like, if that bag of weed could talk.
Right, it would say some stories.
It's like, yo, I'm now here, bro. Don't buy another one. I'm over here.
I mean, that shit grew hair, legs, all things.
Right? If you forgot about a bag of weed from mad long, you come home, that shit's walking to the door like, you ain't gonna smoke me, bitch.
I've actually
that's like a horror movie.
I've had that happen.
Your weed walked up to you?
No. I found weed in like a purse that I'm like, that it was so crunchy. I was like, oh, you're old.
Oh yeah, that's definitely happened to me before, especially like leaving it in like the center console in the car or some shit. And like I'm like, I smell weed, but I don't got weed. And then I'm like, and then you find like, and then I don't know, heat, cold, whatever. That should be crispy than a motherfucker.
So I would say my most time of when I lived with my mom, when I started smoking, I hit a bag of weed, and I didn't find that shit till recent, like. Not the bag, just the bag, the empty bag, and I hid it from her. She must have came into my room, and I had just finished smoking, and I like stashed it with. I was like, what the fuck is that? In between the board and the shelf and the board, I'm like, what the fuck is that little red plastic bag? I remember bags used to come in colors back in the day, and of course,
dice on them and Batman.
I smoked. I think it was at that time I was smoking maybe White Owls because the paper. Definitely was not a touch. It was probably a White Owl or a
White Owls, like they smell like
or a Philly. What? Don't talk about White Owls, because
I mean it's all I used to smoke. White grape and peach White Owls.
No, I don't
that was my shit.
Nothing.
That was my shit back in the day. I just can't smoke them no more.
I wish I would have found some old weed. There was mad good weed back in the days. I just found the old baggie. It didn't smell like shit. Just like
that shit
dirty ass tobacco.
It
was just the tobacco in it. Yeah, it was probably. You know what's funny? I should have crushed that shit up and gave it to someone as Grava.
I mean,
it's like ancient Grava. Grava.
Got that vintage Grava, you heard?
Oh my god! Have you ever eaten like aged beef?
No.
So
I can't say
I have a supermarket that I love. Me, my family, we love this supermarket.
To me, aged beef just sounds like throw it out.
Girl, so I'm gonna show it to you. So it's called Stuart Leonard's. I love this place.
I've been there a few times.
Yeah, I love this place. So my brother hits me up and shows me a showcase that they have of aged beef that I'm going to show it to you right now because it was very disturbing. But it's like for Martha Stewart and Derek Jeter. It says the names on it.
The fuck?
Yeah, and it's crazy.
How does one exactly age beef? It just sounds like rotten.
It looks. Wait until I show it to you. It looks
like what was that? Rotten. What was that theory? Who's the guy that had the theory of like the maggots and shit? He left the meat uncovered, and then the other one was in the jar, and like the maggots came. It just sounds like something that nobody should eat.
Thank you. That's what I said. But I mean, hey, to each.
Well, while you're looking for that, we're gonna get into the strain review, which was a surprise this week because I didn't post it because I decided last minute. But we're actually gonna start doing them on air. I've been obviously we on air, but I've been doing them of just strains that I've really liked that I've had, and then by the time I end up doing the strain review on the show, I don't have it no more because I smoked it.
Because you done smoked it, right?
So, and then certain things are hard to come by. Like you get them once and then you might not see them again. Whoever got peanut butter cup out there, the legit peanut butter cup, please. So today we are going to review guava gelato. Mm-hmm. It is a hybrid according to Leafly. Shout out to Leafly. I already know. Leafly. Download it. Visit the website if you can't download shit because you owe Apple money for your Yeah,
She
your
said it,
music
you
or,
all
or that
Apple money.
ringtone that didn't process. So the feelings are euphoric, relaxed, uplifted, happy, and creative. I'm not sure if I said it, but it's a hybrid. So I believe it's like a 50-50 indica sativa. It is 27% THC.
Oh shit. Okay.
Beautiful. I like that.
Me too.
I really like that. I'm not seeing anything here, I'm quoting Leafly on this, guys. I don't see anything here about, the taste or anything. It just says creamy tropical aromas with notes of pina colada and hops. So I don't know about the hops.
I mean, hops and weed they're like family, aren't they?
I don't know about the hops and I don't know about the pina colada, but it definitely has a very fruity aroma. It's definitely a sweet weed. I'll post videos and pictures later on so you guys can get a better look at it. But I agree with Leafly. I definitely smoked this and had a bunch of ideas and I was chilling. I was definitely happy. But it's like, when am I really not happy, guys? So I need to find a weed that's gonna say like it puts you in like a fucking crazy ass mood,
Like,
so I can really test this, because like as long as I got a bag of weed, I'm happy. So, but yeah, we're gonna smoke this. We might hop on live. I've been saying we're gonna hop on my IG live, but we haven't done that yet. So we're gonna roll this up after this, and we're gonna smoke this. Let me take my glasses off.
Oh, I
can't. I'm like, damn, this should look dark.
Damn,
but
you can't. I'm gonna have to ask him to resend it. But you see how? Look it. It's aged. Like this one's for Stu Jr. Oh, this one's for Stu Jr. You look at how that meat looks.
No, thank you.
Right. And they have it for Martha Stewart, Derek Jeter. I was like, it has mold, like mold.
Yeah, that's definitely the shit that you should not be eating.
Right. I'm like, why?
I'm not a very big beef eater, but if I eat it, I want it to be cooked, and I don't want it to be old and named after a fucking.
No, they're aging it for them.
Oh, they're aging it for them.
Yes, they're aging it for them.
Why can't they just be like normal people and smoke it or bake it or something?
Well, because
she's fucking Martha Stewart. She's not aging her own beef.
Well, they have their own farm. It definitely is a whole probably different process. She probably could do the same thing,
So
but
what does it turn
do it.
into? Like jerky?
No, it becomes what they
like
call
I heard of
Angus.
aged wine.
It's Angus. It becomes Angus beef. It's I don't know. It's aged.
100% certified pure Angus.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I don't know I don't like it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to eat anything like that. That shit just sounded like a fucking Hillshire Farms commercial. When I say Hillshire, you say Farms. Aged beef. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You can keep that shit over there, Mr. Stewart.
Yeah, man.
We know Snoop Dogg fuck with you, but that don't mean we want to eat no aged fucking beef.
Well, who knows?
She is aged beef. Fuck out of here.
Prime beef, bitch. Prime beef. Fuck you talking
about.
Bitch,
we in our prime. That bitch is aged beef.
She's still prime.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, like her sheets and shit are cool. I bought some shit from the Martha Stewart collection. I don't know.
I love Martha's calm sense of life. She's just like, oh, okay.
She has no fucks. That's why. She don't have no fucks. She got money. She got money to get her.
Like, look, she's not a snitch neither. When she got caught up in that shit with the stockbroker, she didn't snitch him out and say who it was and what they said to her. Nah, she took her time and was like, fuck that shit. Send me to federal prison. I'm gonna play racket.
I'll give you that. I still want to eat your fucking moldy beef though.
Right. I mean, the moldy beef is like.
This shit just reminds you. Remember that video where somebody threw a fucking ham at Paula D?
Oh, that was hilarious.
I will never get tired of that shit, bro.
I felt so bad.
That hand was the same size as her fucking head.
That word. But that was because they had a video that they had found of her like 20 years of her saying
some real racist shit, right?
Yeah, the word. We say nigga out of endearment, like nigga. But she said it the other way, the bad way.
Shame on you.
Yeah,
should have 2 hands to face.
They canceled all.
You know what, Martha? I want Martha to take that aged beef and hit Paula
And
right
hit Paula
in
in
the
the,
head with it.
yeah. But you know what sucks? Like it sucks. I used to love Paula Deen. I loved all her recipes. And then when that shit happened, I mean, everybody pulled her shit. Anybody.
You know, I liked her just for the fact that you could tell that she was eating the shit that she made.
Nah.
There's a lot of other people doing cooking shows. It's like, you ain't eating this shit. But you could tell that Paula was eating her shit.
That shit. Right. She added that extra stick of butter.
I'm surprised she didn't just swallow that ham whole when they threw it out.
Oh, man. That shit was funny, though. Her facial reaction was the best part.
Bro, I would never get tired of that.
Nah, me neither. I felt so bad for her.
It was kind of fucked up because I do believe that it was like a charity event where she was donating her
Y le dieron un jamonazo. Pero un jamonazo. If y'all haven't seen that shit, please YouTube it. And sorry, Paula. I'm sorry for you having to relive this because, bitch, that shit was epic. And then they have one where they just have your face going, and that was my favorite one of them all.
I want to see somebody do it with a version with that song. I got peas, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, ham.
Right. Ham.
And it's just her getting. I'm gonna work on that.
Right. I think you can do that.
I'm gonna make that as a reel or some shit on Instagram.
They already have like a boomerang one of that shit with her getting slapped with the hand a couple of times. I was like, damn, y'all did Paula dirty. Poor Paula. But
that's karma.
Yeah, that's what happens when you do shit you shouldn't be doing.
You got what you was coming to. You lucky it was only a ham.
I mean, you know, and I feel like it takes time for people to get out of that mindset of what they were taught in order to understand that there are certain things that you just shouldn't say or do.
Yeah, it's just crazy because this just brings me back to like what I said last week about how like I can remember certain things. Why the fuck do I remember Paula Deen getting smacked with a fucking hand?
Because you like her.
But I can't. I really don't.
Oh shit!
I just like to see that bitch get hit with it.
It's funny. It's her face. It's because her double chin and her cheeks is the motion of. I get it.
Like, y'all ever seen the escalator challenge?
No, what's the escalator challenge?
Where the down and the up escalators meet, like people lay on like they across the bottom of it and they spin around in a circle across the bottom of the escalator thing.
No.
So she said no. There was this lady that she decided to do it at the top of the escalator. So she started spinning and then she just went down.
Wow.
She went all the way down and she got to the bottom and started spinning. And like none of her friends ran to help her. And I appreciate them for that because this is one of my favorite videos. But they just watch it happen and it's so.
That's fucked up though. Like
I'd be wanting to try it, but I'd be too scared that I'm gonna get a ticket or some shit.
Yeah, I'm not doing nothing on escalators.
I'd be wanting to try it, and then I seen a dude do it, and it was the glass, the ones that had the glass shit, and he fell in between, and the glass broke, and I was just like,
I used to.
That'll just be my luck for some shit like that.
I used to work in Macy's.
Where's the industrial escalators?
you know in Macy's they have like the original like
the wood ones. Yeah, they scare the
ones.
shit out of me.
Let me tell you,
I hate having to go to the
I used to work on floor 1.5. Right, that's
the elevators ain't any better because they just as old as the escalators.
Yes, they are. But no one really goes on that floor because there's no merchandise or anything on the floor. That's where our bank is, and their security and shit. So I work in their vault. And one day I'm on lunch and I'm shopping around, and I get on the escalator. Now, mind you, the guy and the girl were kind of like arguing, and she was being very bitchy. She was saying shit to him that I was like, bitch, you don't say that in public. Like, what the fuck? Like, all right, that's your man, but God, oh shit.
Go home and whisper that shit. So
well, honey, boo. She had on jeans that were like kind of, at that time, they were using those really boot cut jeans that will go over your sneaker. Okay. Remember? Her shit, yeah, the flare jeans. It got caught in the inside of the wooden escalator. It ripped her whole jeans off of her. Like completely off. She was in panties, standing there screaming because I imagine it hurt. I mean, it just ripped off. Like,
because she was just yelling at her man. He didn't want to buy her new pants.
Nah, Macy's actually gave her pants, and then Macy's did everything so that she wouldn't sue Macy's because those escalators are still there. So obviously Macy's did, friends and for something. Macy's was like, here you go, bitch, a credit card with like a $10,000 limit. Don't ever think you can't come back.
Oh, I would have fell on my way out too. What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know what the fuck it was.
That's
But
crazy.
they definitely gypped her because, bitch, them shits is still there. And that shit ate her pants and didn't stop. That was the fucking crazy part. That it ate the and it kept going. I was like, but where are the pants? Where did they go? Oh,
it's just fabric, so it's not like
Yeah,
it wasn't anything thick enough for it to
you would
jam
have
it or
thought though
stop
it would have. You would have. These new ones would have jammed.
Yeah.
They would have stopped
Yeah,
like
that shit is
bitches and
completely
been like,
out of wood.
immediately.
It's
Not
like
that
if
shit.
you look at it too, you look at it, you're like, damn, this dust is from the 70s.
Right.
What the fuck?
Definitely. Yes, I agree. I loved working in Macy's. So Macy's was fun.
But yo, thank you for being a guest on my show.
I mean, we're just I don't even know what the fuck we're saying. Thank you. Don't even tune out, guys, because we're just gonna switch it up real quick. We're gonna smoke a quick blunt and we're coming right back. So it's like just come right back. Matter of fact, go roll something, get a snack, get something to drink, and come right back because we're gonna be talking more shit. Definitely come back because we're gonna be talking some juicy shit.
Shout out to S.STREET. Shout out to Flintstone NYC 1718 Collective. Y'all already know what it is. Make sure y'all check us out this Saturday. Happy Time Snacks, S.STREET. Hosted by Mathematics. Max, you hosting? You hosting this Saturday? Somebody hosting this Saturday.
Where they gonna fire you at?
Come check us out.
Where they gonna fire you at?
YouTube.
On Instagram. And all
on
that stuff.
Instagram. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram. S.STREET Media. Wilma's POTcast. POTcast. Make sure y'all like, share, follow, subscribe to that YouTube. We're on YouTube Live every Thursday.
And of course, don't forget me, Tony Inside Out. Y'all already know all the underscores, so I ain't gonna get into that. But y'all know Tony Inside and Out. Subscribe to our YouTube. Don't
just
forget.
Type Tony. There's not many of them.
There's not many.
It's just me. There. You don't even never know.
Right.
But yo, shout out to S.STREET. Make sure you subscribe to that YouTube channel. We out of here. See y'all in a little bit.
Right. We'll be back in like 10
Stay high, stay fly, stay Flintstone.
All the time. Oh my God, can I blow your head real quick?
No lie.